Today, I'm going to be showing you all the art of the deal. So whether you're new to the hobby or you've already ventured down the mechanical keyboard rabbit hole, at some point in time, you're probably going to end up spending your hard-earned V-Bucks on a platform like some Italian platform, on Discord, Reddit, Mech Market, right, or even meetups. And I've been getting requests as to how do you find certain deals, what's the best way to find deals, and how can I get people to come down in price to the point where, you'd be happy paying for it. But before we get into it, I've been getting a lot of questions as to, hey, do you have the link to the Mech Market Discord? The link is in the description below. I'm not associated with it at all, and it's not connected to r/Mech Market. At least that's what I've heard in the past. They're two different entities just with the same name. I know it's confusing, but get over it. So yeah, if you want to join the Mech Market Discord, link is in the description below. Tip number one is you got to be quick. And what I mean by that is not only do you have to message the person and try and wrap up with a deal, but you have to be quick on checking what the listings are, keep updating the listings, whether it be on Reddit or Discord. Me personally, I've had the best luck with the Mech Market Discord. I'm just able to refresh it every 5 to 10 minutes if I'm really trying to do a buy that day, and you'll really get good deals every now and then. I mean, GMK Red Devils, this is, $400 or $500 on eBay. I got it for half that price just by, continuously refreshing the page every few minutes and seeing what people have to, list. I didn't even try and negotiate the price on that. I said, hey, $250 is a great deal, ship it out. So that's probably gonna stay in my collection for a while. I haven't had all that good of luck on Reddit as of recently. I feel like people tend to respond a lot slower, and they just I don't know what it is. People on Reddit don't like me. I really don't know what it is. But on the Discord, when I have free time, I'll really go ahead and I'll just no life that Selling Keyboards channel. And whenever someone posts something that I want, right away, I'll message them, try and wrap up a deal before anyone else can message them. And that's kind of how you get some really good deals sometimes. Tip number 3, there is a lot to go over. I'm gonna try and cover as much of it as I can without dragging it on too much. So it is 1, do local meetups, and 2, just buy local. Not everyone wants to do meetups. I know coronavirus is still a thing, or some people just aren't comfortable meeting up with others, or they just don't have the transportation, which, don't nag on them to do the local meetup, to say, hey, I'm cool with it being shipped. But once you start buying from and meeting up with people who are, local to your area, that just opens so many more opportunities with buying or getting into, certain servers. Like, some people don't know, there's servers for the Seattle mechanical keyboard scene, and you'd be surprised. I talk to so many people and they just don't know, and then I'll throw them the invite. You'll be, invited to, meetups and whatnot. But in terms of buying, whenever I do meet up with someone, I'll always tell them, hey, if you ever have something you want to sell, just let me know. I'm always buying. And obviously, I own a keyboard store, so I have a little more capital than most people to spend on keyboard stuff. But if you are looking to, buy more items, it's always good to have your name out there and say, hey, I'll buy stuff in the future if you ever have it. So yeah, do local meetups if you can, or just buy locally. You never know. Sometimes there are whales in the community who have tons of product that just may live a couple miles away. You really don't know. And if they know you want to buy stuff, you're probably going to be the first on their list they're going to hit up if they're looking to unload. And if you know them, you have a good rep, they'll probably give you a discount. Oh yeah, side note for that, whenever you're doing a meetup, do it in a public spot. Don't go to someone's house right off the bat, or don't meet up in a private location. Go to Starbucks, go to a cafe, wherever it is, just go somewhere public for not only your safety, but for the other person's safety as well. I should say that not everyone's comfortable doing meetups, but if you haven't in the past, Starbucks is typically always the best suggestion. So tip number 4 is a very basic rudimentary negotiation skill, and that is splitting the difference. Yes, it's everyone for the most part knows what it is, understands the term, but when it's happening and when you're negotiating, no one really realizes it. So for example, if you have an item for $200, let's say I want it for $175, I'm gonna offer you $150, you're very likely to say no, because it's a fair chunk off of what you asked for. It's 25% off. So if I want it for $175, I'm going to offer you $150. You're going to probably say no, offer $190. I'll say, hey, at least split the difference for me. Meet me in the middle, $175, and you'll be so surprised how often people will say yes. And yeah, you're only, typically you're only going to save anywhere from like $5 to $20. That adds up. That really does. And if you're going to be buying a lot of sets, not everyone is going to be buying a ton of GMK sets or a ton of keyboards or anything in this hobby. But If you are, this will add up. And I'm stingy. Like, I am when I'm doing buys. I will fight for like a $5 discount sometimes. I'm not gonna be rude about it, but I'll be like, just let me win. Let me get $5 off. And I do that because it adds up, right? I will buy, over the course of a year, 100 sets. What's five? If I only get $5 off of every set, that's $500 off in the course of a year, right? Just for example. But typically, I'm able to get like $20 off if I, buy 100 sets. There we go. Splitting the difference is the easiest negotiation skill. Put it to work. Don't lowball. Don't offer $100 and expect them to come to 150. Be reasonable, or they're probably going to ignore you. Tip number, I think 5. Yeah, tip number 5 is one that I try to practice as much as I can. But I know this is not applicable to everyone, and this is going back to not everyone has a crazy amount of disposable income for this hobby. It's an expensive hobby. It really is. But if you are willing to dish out some cash, maybe invest into a couple sets that you don't want, this one works wonders, and that is buying in bulk. Whenever I see a listing that has, let's say, 2 sets that I want and then one that I kind of don't want, and they're all slightly above what I'm willing to pay, I will say, hey, I will buy all these sets if you're willing to come down in price a little bit, and they're almost always willing to negotiate. Some people are, a little more firm on their price. If they are, let it be. Some people you just can't budge, and that's just is what it is. But a lot of individuals who are looking to sell, they're looking to sell for a reason. They want money, and if you're willing to pay them, but they have to give you a little discount, they're okay with that. And there are tiers to bundling. There really is tiers to bundling. Let's say you see someone who lists, 2 sets or 2 items, right? Just 2 items that you want. Typically, you could say, hey, I'll buy both of these if you give me, X percentage off or X dollar off. Negotiate from there. Use tip number 4, split the difference. Do that from there. And then there is larger tier bundling, which gets a little complicated, and sometimes you'll have to bust out like some psychological tactics, which this sounds dumb and theoretical, but that's just how I try and negotiate. So, for example, someone has 7 sets that I want, right? 7 sets that I want. I will go in and ask for 3 of those. I'll say, hey, I want these 3. Can you bundle those and give me your best price? I want the best price. Whenever someone says that's the lowest they'll go, that's not always the case. And that sometimes is the case. And those people are hard to negotiate with. Is what it is. Don't bug them. Don't annoy them. Or else, just have good karma. But if they say that's the lowest I'll go, that's when you say, hey, if I buy a couple more sets, will you come down? Rinse and repeat. You will save a lot of money doing that. If you go in and ask for all the sets at once, and you say, let's say you buy 7 sets, and they want $1,400, right? $200 each, theoretically, whatever. Just in this scenario, they want $200 each per set, and total is going to be 14. Don't ask for, X dollar off when it's a very high number. Ask for a percentage off, because a percentage will sound a lot lower. If you ask for 10% off, that sounds a lot less than $140. So when you're able to negotiate, keep on building up the negotiation. Say, hey, I want the 3 sets. Okay, I want 4 sets. Okay, I'll buy all 7 sets. And at that point, they're already giving you a discount. Say, hey, if you can knock that down 5, 10%, and they're able to do that, you will save so much money doing that and buying in bulk. In the end, they're going to be happy because they're just going to get their money, and you're going to be happy because you got a sweet deal on a ton of items. So bundling can get a little complicated, especially depending on how much you buy. I've done big buys in the past for sneakers at my sneaker store, and it's really, it gets complicated depending on how much you're buying. But keep that in mind. Use the leveling system of 2 items. Give me a discount on 4. Give me a discount on whatever. And then give me a percentage discount on all of it, or split the difference on 2 sets if it's not too much. But buying in bulk and bundling is always a great tactic to get a good deal. So those are my 5 most essential tips or tactics on how to get the best deal whenever you're buying something from Mech Market or the Mech Market Discord or doing IRL meetups. Which this is kind of interesting. So I actually got this from a local Discord server, which I've mentioned in the past, which is the Rama M60A. I got a great deal on this. Just, being in a local Discord that I I didn't know about before, like when I first got into the hobby. You know, I searched around, found out about the Discord. I got this board for $280. This is a board that goes for like 400. So super happy to have this in the collection. That just goes to show, like, I do use these tactics and they do come in, you know, very handy at times. But yeah, that's those are all kind of just universal negotiation skills too. It doesn't pertain specifically to the keyboard, mechanical keyboard hobby. You can really just use those skills anywhere. But yeah, those are how I get my best deals, I guess. I don't know how to put it. I'm kind of just wrapping up my day here. It's 12 a.m., just hit midnight, and I want to go home and maybe play some Tarkov, maybe just go to bed. But yeah, for those of you who wanted to, you know, hear how I got deals, there you go. There's your video. I know there's a couple of you in the comments. I know there was someone on Discord asking me about it. Yeah, happy to do the video. Take it easy. Peace out.